I saw a quote that I want to leave y'all with. The quote said, "Desire lives in the space between where you are and where you want to be." And for women, you know what I'm saying? That's whether consciously or unconsciously, I think they're more familiar with or compelled by than men. And I think in our attempt to navigate women, because the reality is that's what sometimes annoys me about some of these spaces. Like sometimes there's not an admission that like, yo, we are so pissed off by women because we care about them, because we want them, because we need them, we desire
On
them.
this show, if I'm not allowed to talk.
Get the fuck out.
Goodbye. Fuck you and your show.
Okay, then get the fuck out of here.
I will get the fuck out of here. It's given you ain't get pussy until you was 20-something years old.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
It was actually 18. All right, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. You gotta go. You're wild.
And we desire them to behave in these ways that are productive in companionship with us, but we desire them nonetheless, you know? So in while we are also attempting to compel women through our words to be and behave and reform themselves in the ways that we have, you know, observed as objectively productive, it's also important that we also get under the hood and the nuts and bolts and realize, yo, the wiring is completely different. The wiring is completely different, and it's incumbent upon us to understand that.
Could be a very triggering interview for people in the comments. Men and women are different.
Richard, what are you crazy?
I know.
Cut.
I know.
What are you, mad?
Stop the interview now.
No.
We've gone too far. For the majority, for the thick end of the wedge, it doesn't mean anything that the girl has a PhD or the girl is really funny or the girl is super violent or...
If anything, it's intimidating. It's
yeah.
off-putting.
It can be, yeah.
Women tend to... We're going to get cancelled here, aren't we?
You know, for men, we're all about box checking. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. And even you'll see it also show up in women who are in their masculine energy. I got the degree, I make 6 figures, blah, 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 blah. But you realize what's important to women is not boxes, it's the story. You know, what's the story of how we met? What's the story of our first date? What's the story of the first time we were around friends? What's the story?
Where am I gonna find the one?
Oh, hold the elevator quick.
Oh, hello, Mr. Mountain Man.
He's the one. Okay, no wedding ring, and Scruffus says, I don't have a girlfriend. Perfect, we're alone. Now I can project my fantasies on a total stranger. Oh, I could see us having a coffee date that turns into a mountain weekend getaway.
I am going to climb the biggest rock in the world.
Where he teaches me how to build a fire, and I teach him how to style his jeans.
These hands have no limits.
And then we realize that my city girl aesthetic and his mountain man heart are just too different. And then I give everything up to move to the mountains so he can do carpentry and I can paint topless. Who's that? Another one. The plot thickens. Looks like someone has some competition. The misunderstood tech guy who made his millions but has yet to find his true purpose until me.
The Roman Empire.
Who do I choose? Mountains or money? Mountains or money?
If there's a rock, I'll climb it. I don't care where it's from, how deep, how far, in space. I'll climb a space rock. Oh my God, I'm gonna climb a space rock.
I can't choose, so they fight over me. And on the day that I accept my Oscar,
Boobies.
as they both fight for my heart and beg for my hand in marriage, I choose me. Wait, are neither of you coming after me? Wait, I love you!
From a perspective of, okay, what do I do with this now? Is start thinking about not the ways that you're performing for her, but what stories that you guys are telling together. More than just the toxic ex standing out to her because she said he had good dick or whatever the case may be. Oftentimes, it's also because their story was more interesting. It was toxic as hell. It was dysfunctional as hell, but it was a story nonetheless. Women care about how you make them feel more than anything. It's fucked up, but it's true. And again, I don't mean to come off as any of this shit makes sense. I don't think any of this shit makes sense. I'm just trying to make sense of the nonsense in a way to help myself and hopefully help a brother listening manage his expectations and move in ways that are more efficient and effective with the objects of our desire, which are women. We can change the manifestation of their femininity, but we can't change the fact that they are the embodiment of chaos. That just is what it is. More than that, and you know, Angel brings up a good point, that aspect of their chaotic energy or their chaos is nurtured through media as well. Like, think about it. Women grow up watching fairy tales, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Seven Dwarfs, etc. And when you start, like, if you watch some of those stories as an adult, you can start seeing some of the nuanced dysfunction in that has been normalized for girls from a very young age, and then segues into romance novels and Shane novels, and then the bureaucracy of middle school and high school. And then when they grow up, it's just that same dysfunction or that same concept of story arcs manifested in different ways. Expectations. It all goes back to expectations. And I think this gender war, gender dynamic boils down to unfair, unmanaged, unequitable expectations on both sides. And I think the better we get it as women at understanding the nuances of the male disposition, journey, desire, story arc, and the better we get as men at understanding women's pathology and all that nuanced stuff.
Now, women's brains are very, very different from men's brains. Women's brains are made up of a big ball of wire. And everything is connected to everything. The money's connected to the car, and the car's connected to your job, and your kids are connected to your mother, and everything's connected to everything. And it's just like... It's like the internet superhighway, okay? And it's all driven by energy that we call emotion.
I think we can get closer to establishing a more sustainable version of harmony. My brother Angel, he says, it's simple. Men aren't selling delusions anymore, and benevolent mothers now have a chance to step up or step down. And we have been waiting exactly this, or saying exactly this maybe. Let them lead themselves to ruin. That speaks to the symbiotic relationship that men and women have. Like, I say this to women, and sometimes they don't like it, but a world without men, women wouldn't survive. But on the flip side, a world without women, men would survive, but we wouldn't want to, right? And I think it speaks to the nuances of our perspectives and our contributions to reality and society and community, and how those things are supposed to work in tandem. Hey, if you've made it all the way to the end, please click that like and subscribe button. Also share this with somebody that you think would gain value from it. Click the thumbnail at the top if you want the full video. Click the thumbnail at the bottom if you want a video that's closely related to this. Again, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. Check out some more of our content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.